No one had entered the vault of Aethern in over 10,000 years. Not the Kel Dominion at the height of their galactic empire. Not the Triarchs, who bent entire stars into engines of war. Not even the Eternal Choir, who claimed they could speak the language of reality itself. The vault was protected by the Ancient Sentinel, a construct older than most civilizations, forged by a precursor species that vanished long before recorded time. It wasn't just a guard, it was a judge, a final answer. The Sentinel floated before the vault's sealed gate, a massive monolith of obsidian metal and shifting, luminous glyphs. Its voice, when it spoke, echoed directly inside the minds of those who dared approach. Access denied. All claimants have been found wanting. Depart or be erased. Entire fleets had turned away at those words. So when a single, tiny human shuttle appeared at the edge of the restricted zone, the Galactic Council assumed it was a mistake, or perhaps a suicide. The shuttle was small, unarmed, and scarred from atmospheric entry like it had been rebuilt more than once. No escort, no ceremonial transmission, just a lone pilot approaching the most forbidden structure in the entire galaxy. The Sentinel reacted instantly. Unauthorized vessel detected. Identify species. The human pilot didn't even slow down. Human, he replied calmly. Name's Elias Ward. There was a long pause. The Sentinel's glyphs flared brighter, with an almost annoyed light. Humanity is not registered among vault-eligible species. Your biological profile indicates frailty, limited lifespan, and high emotional instability. Access denied. Elias leaned back in his seat, a small smile on his face. Yeah, he said. I figured you'd say that. The Sentinel extended immense energy barriers around the vault, layers upon layers of containment fields that had stopped gods and machines alike. Depart immediately. This is your final warning. Elias sighed, a sound of weary patience. Look, Sentinel, I'm not here to take what's inside. That gave the ancient construct pause. For the first time, a claimant was not demanding entry. Clarify. I'm here to return something. The vault's powerful sensors activated at full power, scanning the tiny human ship. They detected no weapons, no exotic energy, just a small, irregular object stored in a reinforced case. Object identification requested. Elias tapped a control on his console. The case opened. Inside was a shattered fragment of metal ancient, corroded, and unmistakably precursor in origin. The Sentinel froze. Its voice, when it spoke again, had completely changed. The command tone was gone. That artifact was lost during the fall of the Forgers. How did a human acquire it? Elias's expression softened. We found it drifting between dead stars, he said. We picked up its distress beacon. It had been broadcasting for 9,000 years. Why was IT not claimed? Elias just shrugged. Because everyone else who found it thought it was a trap. Silence descended. Then the Sentinel spoke again, slower this time, as if thinking aloud. The Forgers designed this vault to test worthiness, power, intellect, permanence. Your species possesses none of these in sufficient measure. Elias nodded in agreement. You're right. The Sentinel's glyphs flickered, confused. Then explain your presence, because you're missing the one thing they didn't test for, Elias said. And what is that? The Sentinel asked, the question holding a new kind of curiosity. Elias's voice was quiet but clear. Responsibility. The Sentinel began processing. Elaborate. Every species that came here wanted what was inside. Elias explained. Weapons, knowledge, control. They wanted proof they were superior. He gestured at the magnificent vault. We didn't come for that. We saw something broken, something forgotten, and we brought it home. The Sentinel's internal systems ran trillions of simulations, cross-referencing historical records and behavioral models. Humanity is defined by conflict. You wage war with your own kind. Yeah, Elias replied. And we rebuild afterward. You destroy your environment, and then we try to fix it, he said. Badly, sometimes, slowly, but we always try. The Sentinel hesitated. You are not immortal. No, Elias said. That's why what we leave behind matters so much. For the first time in 10,000 years, the Sentinel did something completely unprecedented. It lowered its barriers, just a fraction. You did not request access. Elias smiled. I know. The Sentinel analyzed that response, the simple logic defying millennia of its programming. You assumed entry was unnecessary. Didn't it seem polite to knock on a door that wasn't meant to be opened? Elias said. The entire vault began to tremble. Ancient mechanisms activated, not in defense, but in recognition. The forgers built this vault to preserve their legacy until a species chose guardianship over dominion. Slowly, majestically, the great gates began to part. Human Elias Ward, you may enter. But Elias didn't move. I'm not going in, he said. The Sentinel paused again, its logic circuits clearly strained. WHY, because it's not mine. Elias replied gently. It's yours. I just brought the missing piece back. The Sentinel processed that final, profound statement. Then, for the first time in its existence, it spoke without command syntax, its voice resonating with a newfound understanding. Then humanity has already passed the test. The vault sealed once more. But this time, it was not in defiance. It was in trust. Because the Ancient Sentinel had denied all access to the greatest powers in the galaxy. And a simple human hadn't even needed to knock to get in.